For some time now, the Western globalists have been terrified of the rise of China. Ironically, it was the same Western globalists, the likes of Bill Clinton, who brought China into the tent to play with the big boys. Now Emmanuel Macron is going to President Xi, inviting him to Paris to make a new special relationship. Because that's going to be a good idea, isn't it? They are scared. So, the details that we have, thanks to Reuters, and of course Maria also reported, obviously, it simplified it, saying Macron said to Xi, let's talk money and, of course, conflicts. And Xi says, my two favorite topics. Essentially, Macron said that we will discuss commercial issues, markets, fair competition, investments and developments, and, of course, the crisis in Ukraine and the Middle East, because it's their job to do it. I mean, we got the Americans thinking that they are the world police. We also have the Chinese and the French also wanting to play the world police because of the European Union. But it's fascinating how Macron is talking about fair competition to the Chinese Communist Party, who don't believe in fair competition or actual free market or free trade. French president said that the parties will discuss obviously all these issues, but they also said that we will discuss Ukraine and the Middle East, and which obviously will coordinate, and it will be very important for both sides, China and France. The meeting was also attended by the head of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen. Because she always has to be there, doesn't she? She cannot just leave people alone and in individual countries, sovereign countries, to deal with their own business. She has to be everywhere because she's a control freak on behalf of the European Union. Now, moving on to this, President Xi has apparently said to Macron, we will help with Ukraine if you stop threatening our economy. China knows that we know that the Chinese economy is not really doing well. The Chinese state is not stable. The housing market is in crisis. China's debt, international debt, is out of control, and they're not doing too well. But Macron has agreed, saying, sure. President Xi said China, France, and the EU should jointly counter the escalation in Ukraine and create conditions for peaceful negotiations. He also said China and Europe should adhere to the positioning of partners, adhere to dialogue and cooperation. It's not a good idea. Macron said Europe will not waver from making tough decisions needed to protect its market. The future of our continent will also very clearly depend on our capacity to further develop in a balanced way of our relationship with China. Really? I mean, do they think people are stupid in France? They're not. Because we can see how the approval rating of Macron is collapsing. We can see Le Pen is coming out. We can see that there's an appetite in France for politicians and establishment to actually defend French values and sovereignty and democracy. You cannot go around, play with the other globalists, whether it's the Western globalists or Eastern globalists, or both at the same time in this situation, and try to rule over people's lives without asking for public consent.